This video is brought to you by CampfireShop.com. Support my research and productions by buying exclusive candles, teas, herbal supplements, and more at CampfireShop.com.
A couple of years ago, I was visiting Yoko for her birthday. Sean hosted a little gathering, and it was just made up of very close family members and a sprinkling of friends. I don't know if there were more than 20 people there. And Yoko's born on February 18th. I'm born on February 16th. So we made it like a little dual birthday party. And Sean, who was the host, I mean, he tended to every detail you can imagine. My favorite cake in the world that I can't resist, my one sugar fix, is carrot cake. And he had 2 homemade carrot cakes made. I do have a taste for a particular type of Chardonnay. He saw to it that there would be a case of the Chardonnay and that my little room would be ready and made comfortable. He just went out of his way to make me feel welcome. Although I was really there to celebrate Yoko, I don't make a big to-do about my own birthday. But that occasion, that was the best birthday present I could have had. And, during just a passing conversation, he said, and he had mentioned it once or twice before the birthday celebration. He said, you really should get on with writing that book because you knew the family better than anybody else during that particular period of time. You certainly spoke to them more. You were their closest friend. So don't let too much time go by. I thought about it. It would have been easy to just brush it off, as another reminder. But it was also the time that I was about to celebrate my 79th birthday. And I realized that prognostication was not part of my future, that if not now, then when? So within a very short period of time, I wrote up a little resume, and it was submitted to William Morris Endeavor, to a woman who heads the literary division there, brilliant woman named Erin Malone, and she thought it had legs. She thought it was, more than acceptable. And she introduced me to a variety of publishers. We had a meeting, and there was one publisher from Dutton Random House, a woman named Jill Schwartzman, who really got what I wanted to do and said that the company, wanted to publish the book. And I had spoken to others, and they had similar enthusiasm, but I felt that Jill really got the book and the subtext of the book. So I signed a deal and then spent the better half, almost, of a year writing it. It's the first book I've ever written. It's an arduous process. You've written books, so you know. I had not written a book. I did not know. And talk about the amount of time I spent in the broadcast years, the time that my writing skills kicked in was from midnight to 6 in the morning. That's when I wrote best, or more completely. And I did that for months on end, finishing at 6 o'clock in the morning, exhaustedly trying to fall asleep, getting on with whatever else I was doing during the day, trying to maintain some kind of a social life or personal life. But it was all consuming until one day the publisher said, we love it. It's accepted. We go to print.
Wow. It's interesting. When you tell the story, I once again apply the hero's journey template, because in stories like the Odyssey with Telemachus and Odysseus, you have the stages, which is the refusal of the call. The hero, like in Rocky, Apollo issues the challenge. Rocky doesn't know if he can take on the challenge. This is the greatest athlete in the world, in his opinion. How do you go up against Apollo Creed? But he thinks about it. And so you had the refusal of the call, which was brief. You had the meeting of the mentor, which in many ways was the process of the agent, the publisher. You're crossing the threshold, and then you're
Yes.
crossing into you have tests. You're challenging yourself to see if you could even take on this challenge. You're going through the process of, in many ways, you were your own mentor because you had to take your own counsel. You had to spend a lot of time, I would assume, in your house, staring at the ceiling, thinking back in time, wondering what to choose and what not to choose. I bet you smiled a lot to yourself, remembering things that John said to you, and Yoko said to you, and laughing. And it was quite a journey for you, wasn't it? To be able to reach the
I'm,
point where you finally turned it in.
I'm first in recovery from being mentioned in the same sentence as the Odyssey and Rocky. I'll have to recover from that for a bit.
We can do Greek references all day long, Elliot, if you like.
You can, I can't.
I'm dying to say
But
Agamemnon.
I probably could do more Stallone references.
Okay, we'll go with that
I
too.
I know them.
Oh,
But
Sylvester Stallone seems like a nice fellow.
I, the writing certainly evoked some very happy memories. I even took a little bit of time off while writing to just look through scrapbooks that I maintained of letters and postcards that John had sent me over the years. I think I have close to 100 of them. They almost all made me laugh. That was the lead. That John's sense of humor was always overwhelming. But in the memory process, keep in mind I was writing a book where everybody knew how it would end. And there were moments, of course, in our Odyssey together. Gosh, the Iliad, the Odyssey. I don't want to slip into that. But there were moments in our Odyssey that were also very depressing, very sad. Things that occurred that didn't make me feel good at all. And those were evoked. And of course, when I got into areas about the end, it was devastating for me to write about taking, let's say, an inventory of his personal effects after his passing. I was very, very glad when I turned the last page on my laptop.
It's very interesting, though, that the story of John Lennon didn't end in the way that a normal person's life would end, because he left behind, obviously, a wife, family, friends, countless memories, great music. I was listening to one of your interviews the other day, and it ended with you saying that he brought so much joy to people's lives through his music. And that music lives on. And if you think about it, that is life after death, isn't it? It's like in so many ways, he's still a part of people's lives long after physically he's gone.
I rejoice in that, of course. And I presume that his music will last forever. It was there. But we were not drawn to each other over the music. And we spent precious little time in discussion about his music. I'm not a musician. And he found relief in being able to talk with somebody who didn't constantly want to talk about either the Beatles or music or session players or guitars or any of that. He knew that I didn't have a handle on that stuff and took relief in it. So when he left us, my first thought was not, well, the music will always go on. My first thoughts were more selfish. And they went to the place of, I'm never going to be able to pick up the phone and spontaneously call John to talk about the 6 o'clock news.
So, what did you think of that excerpt of my interview with Elliot Mintz? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. You can support my productions through the links below and visit campfireshop.com for exclusive candles, teas, herbal supplements, and more. Join my channel or Patreon for exclusive walk-in tours and leave a super thanks in the comments below. Call and be kind to all living things and adopt your pets from your local shelter. They'll be grateful, and so will you. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.